Good evening, everyone. Please stand for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing while Councilman Sarah leads us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to come together and to serve our community. And thank you for the generosity and kindness that is demonstrated by so many of our citizens during the holiday season. It is these continued acts of kindness that make Brigantine one of the best places to call home. Amen.
Thank you. Just to advise that meeting notices covering this meeting have been sent and posted as required under Section 3D of the Open Public Meetings Act. Want to apologize for running a little over in our executive session, but we had several important topics that had to be discussed with council. And at this time, I'll ask our solicitor, Mr. Cerny, to report on the topics that were discussed in executive session.
In executive session, Mayor and Council discussed certain matters of litigation and contract negotiation. In regard to litigation, the Council received a report from our office in regard to the current status of the COA situation and the need for compliance by the municipality. A report was provided that resulted from a mediation effort between Fair Share Housing and the city. This resulted in the municipality preparing a concept plan for purposes of discussion. That plan was discussed in the executive session. Additional consideration will be given to this plan and the results of mediation and a future course in this matter within the coming weeks. The public will be made aware of the results of these discussions as those discussions conclude. It's anticipated that that may occur within the next 30 to 60 days. The other litigation matter that was discussed is a matter currently pending in Superior Court, that being Malone versus Brigantine. Council received a report from the manager that Malone has filed another lawsuit against the municipality challenging a decision of the Brigantine Planning Board. This matter, the second matter, is new. Additional information will be made available as that moves through the courts. It's anticipated that that may be approximately 90 to 120 days. A contract matter was discussed with Council reviewing certain options in terms of the structure of contracts with youth sports groups and issues depending on funding. Additional work will be done with this by senior staff, and further reporting will be done to the council within the next several weeks. Another contract matter deals with the relationship of Brigantine and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. This discussion focused on the management of the north end of the island. Additional information will be made available following communication between the city and the NJDEP. This is touching upon an expired contract that had previously been in existence for the management of that area. That's it, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Cerny, for that comprehensive report. I'm going to change the agenda around a little bit since we were late and we have so many of our young people here tonight. I know they have to get home and do their homework. We are going to recognize the incredible season that our Brigantine Rams varsity team had this year. They did an outstanding job all year long working together as a team, and they learned those valuable lessons of teamwork and dedication, and it pays off, all that hard work. So all of you guys who were out there in August when it was very hot and put the time in through the support of your parents and the coaches and all of the Rams organizations, Jill Cott and everyone else who has been part of this organization to make it as great as it is. You can see how all of that comes together in one season. And I just want to, for a moment, I was given the statistics, which are pretty amazing. You had an undefeated regular season of 8-0, a division champion, you were a division champion, you were in the division, I guess, 10-2, and the conference champion, 10-2 as well. The final record, which includes making the semifinal round of the Delaware Regional with the NFL Hall of Fame tournament. And apparently this tournament had teams in it from across the country. They were elite teams in your age group, and you made the semifinals of that too. So this is the team that since we had 10+ wins, and this is the first time since 2006. So just an incredible record, and you're doing it, I can tell from the number of students we have in our school with one of the smaller student and populations here in Brigantine. You're making that work, and that is really a testament to the work that each and every one of you puts in, and to your coaches and to everyone else who is involved in this Rams organization. So on behalf of City Council, we want to congratulate you tonight, and we have some certificates that we want to give to each of the players. And I'm going to ask Mrs. Bew, who has been probably one of your steady fans all season long, being at every game, as well as Deputy Mayor Simpson to join me, who was a member of the Rams back when he and I played together. So if we come down front, and we'll hand out these certificates to these deserving young men.
And I want to say this was 18 boys, 18 guys on this team that played their heart out. There are 4 members from Atlantic City, I believe.
Yes.
We were allowed to get 4 guys from Atlantic City to come over and help us out, and they became family members with all our Brigantine boys. So first of all, we have Dylan Knopf. Trevor Cohen. Jadiel Feliciano. Oh, okay. Michael Pena. Brendan St. Clair. Nicholas Visco. Omar Rodriguez. And Omar did have an injury in the last game this week. Hopefully you're feeling better. Wahaj Powell. Jeremy Acevedo. Belial Rex. Cairo Herber. Joseph Sikorsky. Yuan Soto. Kyrie Najee Robinson. Christopher Wright. Nicholas Timmick. Charlie Brown. and Shamir Zaffa. I'd also like to recognize the gentlemen who were on the All-Star team this year. We had Dylan Knopf, Trevor Cohen, Brendan St. Clair, Nicholas Visco, Michael Pena, Jadiel Feliciano, Jeremy Acevedo, Wahaj Powell, and Omar Rodriguez. The All-Stars were part of the East All-Star team who beat the West All-Star team 46-34. They had a fabulous game. And I believe, Coach, your Brigantine boys participated in what, 24 of the 46 points?
Yes.
Yes, they were responsible. 28 of the 46 points our Brigantine boys were responsible for. I'd also like to call the coaches up. We have John Knopf, head coach. Jason Clem, assistant coach. Paul Marandino, assistant coach. Brendan St. Clair, assistant coach. Frank Timmick, assistant coach. And Mario Lang, assistant coach as well. We'd also like to give a tremendous thank you to Jill Parker and her daughter, Hillary Mayha. They have given the Rams so much support and help throughout the whole season. And I hear, Hillary, your binder with all the registration forms were a tremendous asset. Thank you all.
Hey, can I just say a quick word? Being a member of the Referees Association, I have to say the Rams are one of the cleanest teams, and I always found that didn't have to really throw too many flags their way during the season. Want to bring some up around the back? Want to bring some up around the back here?
Yeah, you might want to, because I can't see.
Yeah? Want to bring a couple? Go back. You go back. You go back.
There we go.
I'll let you run the rest of the meeting.
Profile shot, we can turn to the side.
Coach, would you like to say anything?
We're going to take a 5-minute recess. Anybody else? We're going to take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll reconvene the meeting.
Good job.
Okay, I need a motion to resume the meeting.
Make that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Actually, we're going to stay with our modified agenda tonight, and we'll do the swearing in of our new, actually, we have to do the ordinance first? Authorizing it? Okay. So let's do the resolution, 2017-212, authorizing appointment of Class 2 Special Enforcement Officers. We have a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second?
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
You,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, at this time, I will ask Chief Bennett if he would introduce our two new Class 2 officers and talk a little bit about the duties of a Class 2 officer, if you would.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll try and keep this short.
Please.
This year, working with the city manager and city administration, we were able to add two Class 2 special law enforcement officers to our ranks. We're going to have Nicholas Crossan and Anthony Casteriotto. I hope I didn't butcher your name too badly. Class 2 is a step above the typical specials that you see in the summertime, the ones that hand out tickets and are cruising around the beaches. These young men are going to be attending a multi-month training academy where they will learn just about everything that a basic police officer learns when they're in the academy. They'll be authorized to carry weapons when they're on duty. They can do traffic stops. They can make arrests. They have full powers of arrest. And we're going to use them this summer to supplement our force. When we get busy, they can answer minor calls for us. They'll also be down helping the Class 1s on the beaches. We get the Cove, the Jetty, some of the other places where there may be trouble. These officers have a little bit more power and authority than our Class 1s do. This is their next step in their careers if they so choose it. Both Anthony and Nick started with us as Class 1s. Nick was with us since 2015, Anthony last year. They proved to us in administration that they were ready to take that next step with their hard work and their dedication to the job. So now we're moving them up. Along with the manager, we kind of designed a farm system here in our police department. We start them off as Class 1s, and we work their way up to a full-time police officers if they so choose. These two gentlemen right here are on that path, and they're on a fast path because they both worked very hard and they've earned their place. So I'd like to have Anthony and Nick please come up.
Gentlemen, will share that. Left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Nicholas Rawson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
required as a member
required as a member
of the Brigantine Police Department
of the Brigantine Police Department
as a Class 2 Special Law Enforcement Officer,
as a Class 2 Special Law Enforcement Officer,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, good luck. Good luck.
On behalf of City Council, I want to congratulate Nick and Anthony and tell them that it is because of their hard work and their dedication and what they have demonstrated as Class 1 officers that they're taking that next step to Class 2. So I want to congratulate them. It is a very long job interview that you've been through. You've done time as a Class 1 and the department got to know you and see the work, and they had an opportunity to see the work that you could do. So congratulations on going through that successfully and demonstrating the qualities that will make you a good police officer in the future. Also want to congratulate your families, and I know they are proud of you, and we as community members and as elected representatives are proud of you as well. So good luck in the future. Okay, we're going to take a quick recess because I know your families probably don't want to hang around for the rest of our agenda. 3 minutes this time. All right.
Don't go to the place, Dennis, and Mike.
Do you want to take some pictures? We'll get out of the way. Okay, you know I'm lost now.
Yeah. Oh, man, all right,
All right.
executive.
Okay. Need a motion to resume the meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to go back to approval of the council meeting and executive minutes from 11/1/17. We have a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next, we have the approval of payroll, the requisition list, and operating expenses. Could we have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Abstain on 2736, yes to the rest.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Abstain on 2536, yes to the rest.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
That was rest to the yes, but no yes to the dress.
Okay. At this time, I'll open the meeting for public comment on agenda items only. If anyone would like to comment on anything that's on the agenda, please step forward, state your name and address, and please use the microphone. Okay, seeing no public comment at this time, I'm going to close the public portion. And we will move right to ordinance number 25 of 2017. And this is an the public hearing and adoption for ordinance number 25. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
So
Make that
moved.
motion.
Second.
Okay, at this time, I'll open the meeting for the public. Anyone who wants to speak on ordinance number 25. Okay, seeing no public participation at this time. Ed, anything you want to add to the fee ordinance change?
No, Mayor.
Okay.
Different than what we discussed before.
Okay, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
No.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
carried.
Okay, item 13 is ordinance number 26 is an introduction amending the property maintenance code to adopt the 2018 edition of the International Property Maintenance Code. Can we have a motion and a second, please?
To make a motion.
Second.
Okay, Ed, you want to explain the change?
I will, Mayor. I will also ask the chief of the fire department to chime in, but first, just a housekeeping. Under section 238-1, adoption of standards by reference, middle of that paragraph where it says BOCA National Property Maintenance Code 1996, that is a typo. It should read the same as the first line of that paragraph, the International Property Maintenance Code 2018. We'll give that to Lynn to correct tomorrow, but if you would, that would be the introduction with that change. This is a change that comes from Chief Platt for the Fire Prevention Office, and I'll ask Chief to give council an explanation.
Thank you, Manager. This code, it was brought to my attention from some of our younger, more energetic inspectors that the current code of 1996 was very outdated for the city. We did some research and we found that the 2018 code was, in fact, very similar to what we're currently doing. It doesn't change anything. It's not going to cause any issues within the city, but it does protect our residents. It's a little more thorough, a little more explanation on certain items, and Firefighter Murray, who's very energetic and eager to modernize our fire prevention office, is helping out down there, and he came up, and we thought it was appropriate to bring us up to current standards as far as property maintenance codes come from. So, and all the changes on page 2, those changes are not actually changes as far as like dollar amounts. They're the actual amounts that have been in effect. That's just a change in the code to reflect those amounts in the new property maintenance book.
Okay.
Chief, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Along those same lines, you just mentioned with the fees, the other changes in Section 3, do they, I know there are amendments to this, the standard language is contained in the code. Do they match up, though, with the standards that we've already got in place, like the weeder plant growth in excess of 10 inches?
That's correct. They're exact same standards that are in place today.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any further questions? Seeing none, could we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, ordinance number 27 of 2017 is an introduction, amending damage prevention ordinance of Chapter 181. And this is the flood management prevention ordinance. We have a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
Second.
Ed, do you want to discuss what those changes are?
I will, Mayor, thank you. The main change to this is our flood damage prevention ordinance, so it's a requirement for freeboard for new construction and substantially improved construction. The main change is the adding of what's called a coastal A zone. So that is a new flood zone designation, relatively new, came about after Sandy, after the new maps have been prepared and proposed. Currently, the International Building Code requires V-zone construction in a coastal A zone. So that is currently a requirement of the International Building Code, and it is a requirement that our construction office has been enforcing for about a year. The change to this ordinance simply updates this ordinance to state the coastal A zones and require the V-zone construction in the coastal A. There are also some changes that are mandatory language changes by FEMA, but they are definition type changes, and other than the addition of the coastal A and the V-zone requirement, it has not changed significantly from what existed prior.
Okay, any questions by council? Okay, seeing none, could we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, resolution 2017-213 is a reappointment of the municipal judge. And the City Council, the City of Brigantine resolves that whereas Brigantine wishes to engage professional service as a municipal court judge, and whereas municipal court judge may serve in accordance with a professional service contract, be awarded without competitive bidding. Now therefore, it is resolved by City Council of the City of Brigantine that Timothy P. McGuire, attorney at law of the state of New Jersey, being is hereby appointed as municipal court judge of the City of Brigantine for a term beginning January 1st, 2018 and lasting until December 31st, 2020. We have a motion and a second, please.
Make the motion.
Second.
Could we have roll call, please?
You,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney.
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-2014, or 214 rather, is supportive of Senate Bill S. 2872, the Senate Economic Growth Committee, and this is supporting creating certain incentives to qualify business in Garden State Growth Zone in Atlantic City and creating a Garden State Growth Zone at the FAA William J. Hughes Center and surrounding area. We have a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah. This bill right here is something that's very important for the economic growth of the area. You know, one of the biggest things that we're trying to do right now is diversify our economy. For one of the longest times, we've really been dependent on casinos, which was good until casinos started to spread to every other state. So in order for Atlantic County to be successful, we need to do incentives to bring in businesses. I know Assemblyman and now Senator-elect Chris Brown had an assembly version of this bill that was out there that he has actually now pulled back. And he is asking for bipartisan support from everybody across the state to support the late Senator Jim Whalen's version of this bill, to have it move forward so that we can help grow our economy and protect Atlantic County together. So I would like to personally ask everyone to support this bill.
Thank you, Vince. And as you know, there's a lot of good work being done already,
Yeah.
and this will only enhance what is in place and make it possible for that to grow with the incentives that would come with the growth zone. There is an economic alliance that's working countywide that has been appointed and is implementing the county economic development plan. And of course, the Stockton Aviation Research Park is underway. There are a lot of good things going on. This is only one more tool that will enable the area to move forward, and as Vince said, to diversify the economy. It's very important. Okay, could we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-215 is the insertion of a special item of revenue in New Jersey Drunk Driving Enforcement Fund. And this is the insertion of $2,156.27. Okay, motion and second, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-216 is a real estate tax refund. We have a motion and second, please?
Make the motion.
Second.
And actually, that should say refunds, because there are several that are overpayments.
Mine says refunds.
So my name was on there.
It does say refunds, yes. I didn't say refunds.
It's a miracle.
Okay, could we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-217 is a transfer resolution, which is at the end of the year. We have these, and this is in the amount of $69,000. We have a motion and a second, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, could we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2017-218 is a partial release of a performance bond, and this is for Michael D'Annunzio and Joseph D. Bound. And this is reducing their original amount of their security deposit on the project for Block 3602, Lot 2703. Could I have a motion and a second, please?
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, Resolution 2017-219 is award of contract for engineering services for the salt storage building. Whereas the municipal engineer solicited for professional engineering services, to prepare the bid documents and bid specifications and construction of a salt storage building. And it went through the bid or the proposal process. The proposal is awarded, contract is awarded to Remington Burnick Engineers on their low bid of $75,000. We have a motion and a second, please.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, just puzzled. How big a building is it, and what's involved in a salt storage building? I mean, mentally, I picture it's almost like a prefab building, but obviously not.
So our intent is right now to construct the salt storage building on top of the ramp and the concrete ramp structure that exists down at Public Works. So it will be, I think, about a 60 by 60 building, John, roughly. And we would use the existing foundation and concrete walls and reinforce them and build up from there.
So, forgive my ignorance, but the design sounds like it would just basically be 4 walls on top of the existing pad and a roof.
Okay, well, so, I mean, the numbers, what we're looking at is about $22,000 for the design and $53,000 for the construction management, the testing of the concrete, the testing of the steel, and verification of those components. So that is what we're looking at. But yeah, it's existing. It's not as easy as saying you're just going to put up 4 walls and then build this salt storage. It isn't quite that simple.
The numbers tell me that. But, I mean, both bids came in, obviously this is the low bid, so just have to assume in the industry it's better understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments?
And we need to get this because we're out of compliance right now.
That is correct. The DEP's been threatening to fine us for about 4 years now. Yes, sir. It's only John's good negotiation skills that have kept the fine away.
Sure wasn't that high, I tell you.
So, what is the timeline?
Council awards this and we issue a contract and it gets started on the design. So we would hope to be going out to bid for a salt storage building this coming spring.
Where do you presently store the salt?
Don't ask.
Okay. Okay. I didn't need to know.
Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Keep it at John's house.
You,
Yes,
Reardon,
sorry.
Haney,
Yes.
Blueprint.
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Mayor Gunther.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2017-220, authorizing approval and submission of program for public information document to FEMA for Community Rating System Program. And what's important to know about this is the Community Rating System, Brigantine holds a Class 5 rating, affording residents the benefit of improved floodplain management and over $1 million in flood insurance premium savings based on a 25% flood insurance premium discount. And of course, what we are hoping to do is to do better in the future with this program.
That is correct. And Mayor, if I could briefly, just to give a shout out, the council created a program for public information back in 2014. We're required to have as part of that committee members of the public. So these members that I will name participated in the original in creating this document, and then yearly, we meet yearly and review the document and update the document. The discussions are very valuable, and the input of all the members have helped create the way we reach out to the public, the message we send to the public, different focus areas. We concentrate mostly on our repetitive loss areas, and we do outreach specific to those groups, those areas, but then we also do citywide outreaches as well. But those members are Joe Musumeci, Ann Scotland, Paul Lauriello, Rich Stevens as our construction official, and Ronnie Powell. We know Ronnie's been involved as OEM and on a lot of our construction projects on the island, and he continues to help the city as part of this committee.
It's great work, and there's a tremendous amount of information in this document too that is, I know council has received a copy of it, but also it speaks to not only the flood mitigation issues that have gone on over the years and how we've tried to address that, but also the public outreach piece. that you just described. So want to thank you, Ed, for spearheading this. I know this has been something you've been involved in for a number of years, and the results are significant, you know, with over $1 million in savings for homeowners in Brigantine. And hopefully, if we can get to the next rating, even greater savings in the future.
That's right.
Okay, can we have a motion and a second, please?
I'll
Make that motion.
Second.
And if there's no further discussion, could we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
We move to our consent agenda. We have the Brigantine Elks raffle license and the Riptide Fall Striper Derby extension request. We have a motion and a second, please.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Could we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Mayor Gunther,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, at this time, Ed, you want to give an update on the big beach fill project?
Yes, Mayor. John attended the last progress meeting. There's another one, I believe, tomorrow, right, John? But as of last week, the yellow equipment, the mobilization of the equipment that will be on the beach will take place this coming week, and pumping is scheduled to start the week between Christmas and New Year's. 33 pumping days, weather permitted, has them finishing the end of January. That is, at least as of last Thursday, that is the schedule. We'll keep you posted as we learn more.
And did the quantity change at all?
So it's still the same quantity, but it's dependent on the pre-dredge surveys. So what they will do is in this next week or two, you'll see the equipment out there, and they will take pre-fill surveys, and depending on the results of those surveys, when you overlay the proposed template, then you calculate the volume, and they may come back and say they need additional fill. The additional fill would require a share cost to the city of Brigantine. So that is possible, but we wait till we do those pre-fill surveys.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to congratulate Public Works, certainly, the Chamber, everybody that was involved in the tree lighting ceremony last Friday night. It was once again, an excellent event. And
It worked again this year.
yes, I always hold my breath, but John's very confident that the lights will come on.
Just as long as it wasn't raining.
That's right. And then two more items. One, the chief would like to just give a couple minute bit on boat trailers and requirements for the season.
I'll make it less than a minute, sir. Just as a reminder to everybody out there, December 1st was our cutoff date for getting your boats and trailers off of the public roadways. Our officers have begun enforcement of trailers that are still out there. So if you or any of your friends have them, get them off the street, or you risk getting a summons. Thank you.
And then the last item I have, some very good news that we just received, the hazard mitigation grant application to Elevate Homes that we applied for last year in partnership with Margate and Longport. We received the letter just yesterday that it has been approved. 22 homes in Margate, Longport, and Brigantine will receive funding to Elevate. Of the 22, 12 of them are in Brigantine.
Wow.
And then there's a list of, I think, another 12 properties as alternates. So if any on the 22 funded list decide not to participate or may have given up waiting and done it themselves, we will drop into the alternate list, and Brigantine has another 10 the first 10 of the alternate list are Brigantine properties. So very fortunate, it's over $3 million in grants for the project, and this is just the notice, and then there's going to be a lot to kind of put in place. But it took a year, but it's starting to show the benefits.
You know, once again, Ed, I want to thank you for your work on this. I know that this is a grant process that you worked with Jim Rattal and others to put together, but also the development of that list is something that has taken time and energy over, at least a 2-year period.
Yes.
To put together. So there was a lot of outreach to people to let them know that this might be a possibility, and then the development of the list and the creation of a priority as well based on damage and everything else. So I know a lot of work went into it on your part, and it is a benefit to the residents for a variety of reasons who were not able to take advantage of that FEMA funding when it was available the first time.
And council's commitment to continue to apply. So we still have that list. Obviously, we have more properties than even that are on this list. And I receive requests or inquiries about going onto that list almost weekly. So it is a list that is living, and we'll keep adding to it. And hopefully we will be successful in more of these grants, and we can start taking some of the properties off the list as well.
Great.
Thank you.
Great, good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have one thing if I could add.
Sure.
I know it's been out on social media. I was wondering if the fire department chief, if you could update us when Santa Claus is coming to town?
Thank you for putting me on the spot. Santa will be traveling the island on the 14th and the 15th. It's the south end on the 14th, north end on the 15th, and we will be hitting all of the major roads and all of the areas that have all the most children in them. We do not put out a specific map because we get threats when we don't come down certain people's streets. So but we do hit all the major areas, and we'll be out and about for 3 hours each night. So it's 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I believe, is the times we'll be doing it. And so you'll hear us coming. Don't worry. Make a lot of noise.
Yeah, if it's 9 o'clock, don't come by my house.
Yeah, 9:01 will be your house. We're going to pause there.
I was going to say, sit outside his house for a little bit. We'll make it work.
I have a couple.
Sure.
Phil. First thing is about our veterans. Anybody that doesn't know that the government is giving back to the veterans $3,000 tax exception. All you have to be is a veteran, and it could be a husband or wife, or your wife could have it, just as long as they have a DD 214. So you can get your tax return, save $3,000 off your taxes. That's a great thing. So I just check with your CPA, make sure you don't miss that. That's $3,000, and income doesn't matter. I also forwarded to Lynn Sweeney. Maybe we can put it on our website for the city so that veterans can look that up. Question before anybody else asks. We just swore in a couple more officers, class twos, and not full-fledged officers. Is that going to increase our police force, or is it going to remain the same?
It'll remain the same, sir. We have the same 34 officers. These are supplemental, summer, part-time, seasonal, whatever you want to call them. They're not full-time officers.
Okay. And so it won't have no effect on our budget or in your budget?
No, sir.
I thought that was the case, but I want to make sure the public understood that. One for Ed Stinson, and he'll know where this came from. Bus shelters. We did this a long time ago, and we haven't seen anything yet, so I got a request tonight about the bus shelters.
So
Where we're at.
John and I met with the gentleman. We went to the 3 locations, and he is getting back to me with a sketch. So we did that last month, like early last month. And I haven't seen the sketch yet for where the structures will go on those locations. I'll email him. It is working.
Okay.
It is in the process. We sent him the agreements that council authorized. I got the feeling when we met with him that it was a kind of going to take some time. But we've done what we needed to do, and now we're waiting on him to come
And
back
it's just a
with.
cold winter out there for our citizens of Brigantine, so if they can get some shelter while they're waiting for the bus or.
I will send him an email and
I
let him know
appreciate
what
it,
time of the year
you know,
it
if
is.
you can keep us up to date on that.
Okay.
Thanks, Ed. That's all I got, Mayor.
Okay, anybody else?
Oh, wait.
All right, over here from the public? Anybody from the public?
Ron May, I know I'm limited to 5
That's okay, if you would, just use the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
Ron Main, 701 East Brigantine Avenue. I know I'm limited to 5 minutes, so I just wanted to hit the high points of what I have to say and then ask you for your comments on that. I continued on from my July meeting when I was here, and I talked about the tax appeal process and how the initial appraisal and the 2014 reappraisal and the tax appeal process seems to be somewhat not working fairly towards the property owners. Since then, I've been approached by a lot of people. One of my examples of this was a guy on Atlantic Brigantine Avenue, did his third tax appeal on the same property. This time he went with a certified appraiser and added 3 additional properties. The appraisal was at $395. Brigantine's value is at $647 from 2014. Brigantine stood on that value. Now, appraisal in today's market, a current appraisal, is a gold standard in real estate value. I don't think there's anybody that can override an appraisal. That means he's paying about $5,500 more in taxes than he should. This should have never made it to the county. He should have never had to go through all that process. He should have been able to settle it here. And based on the 2017 numbers, the north end of the island, the sales that were generated from blocks 200 to 800, 83% of all the sales sold for $100,000 below the taxed value. That means each property was paying an addition of about $1,800 more than what the actual sale price of it was at that point in time. Only 17% sold for more than the taxed value, and that was only by a number of $24,000, which would be well within the ratio given from 2014 with appreciation to this date. Looking back at 2016, a total of properties sold was 192. 72% of all those properties sold for $93,000 below the taxed value. So 73% of the people were paying about $1,700 more in taxes than they should have, because the values were not established correctly initially, and then they're being upheld through the use of NUs. Because of the 192 sales that year, 50% were labeled by NUs by the city, which is pretty much out of proportion. So it looks like you're running at about 110% ratio rate at this point. And I would just like to ask anybody's opinion on that. And to back that up, I have all of these sales that I've analyzed, page after page after page, in each direction and every combination.
Could you provide that data to our solicitor and
Absolutely.
we'll
I'm in a
discuss it with
state
the
tax
assessor?
appeal right now, and I imagine I'll be sending that to you. I can send it in a thumb drive. I can't really email this large of a package.
You should also get it over to the assessor.
Absolutely.
can you
Well, I
send it
can
over?
just drop it off there in a thumb drive.
And, you know, there are so many variables that impact on this, but I know that you've done a lot of work,
Absolutely.
so it would be important to see that.
Well, the variables that seem to do is the use of the NUs. That seems to be the issue in the tax appeal process. The initial valuation, that is what it is. But when people come into appeal, the appeals don't seem to be going as fair value, market value, which is what the state mandate is fair value, market value.
Mr. Sir?
The NU designation is not a municipal designation. It is a designation that the state places on a particular sale as to whether that sale will be usable in doing an evaluation. Now, admittedly, there are an awful lot of sales that take place that are designated as NU. There is I would not say a great debate, but there is within the business, there's a subset kind of debate as, is there a point in time when the NUs, which really focus on foreclosure sales and things of that nature, is there a point in time when they become so prominent that they actually begin to define the market? So that discussion is going on. The case law so far does not get to a point where it says that the foreclosure sales and similar sales of that type are now defining the market. But it is a topic of some discussion. But the concept itself of NU does not originate in the municipality. It originates with the state and is then fed back to the municipality.
At one of my meetings with Trenton at the Division of Taxation, they informed me that NUs 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 13, 15, 17, 26, and 28 are usable in the tax appeal process and should be considered in the tax appeal process. And that the NUs by the state tax division is only established for the director's table, not for the use of the tax appeal process. That's according to my meeting at Trenton.
Okay, well, we weren't there, so it depends on who you talk to in Trenton, but once again, the information, if you can get it over to Mr. Cerny and to our tax.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
It'll have to be on thumb drive, though.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment? Yes, Mrs. Phillips.
Ann H. Phillips, 308 27th Street. 3 quick questions. 1, what number does the city use to determine the population that is year-round in Brigantine? 2, what percentage of residential properties are owned by second home owners? And 3, what are the county's plans for the Lighthouse Circle in terms of improvements or paving?
So I haven't seen updated data on percentage of properties. I don't know if Mr. Stinson has in any other reports. I think we've been using pretty much the same census number that we have been using in the past. Right.
So that's about 9,400, is that what you're using?
Yes. Yes.
So we're all guessing, basically, at this point until the census.
Yeah, we are, and there are some updates available through, we can check with Jim Rotella to see if he has anything newer based.
Yeah, according to the internet, anything you get on the internet, it's about 9,400, so, okay.
That's pretty much what we're using, that's what we are looking at as well.
Okay, concerning the percentage of residential properties owned by second homeowners, do you have a percentage?
We don't at this time. I don't know if Ed has something.
I don't have anything right now.
We've heard numbers thrown around, but we don't have.
Well, I should think that would be something you'd want to know in terms of just the makeup demographically of the city, and I think the city should sit down and just do research on that and get that percentage, because you hear anything from 60.
It's actually some of the work that's being done with the economic development plan. He is actually creating some of that data for us, so we should have it soon.
Good, because I hear anything from 70, 60 up, and again, it's guessing. So, and the third question, the county has done work on Brigantine Avenue, Boulevard, but what about the circle?
We have just sent a letter. I've just sent a letter to the county executive asking for a traffic study that will inform how that circle is going to be addressed going forward. And as part of that traffic study, they will come back, I'm sure, with traffic counts, and based on that, the patterns of use and things of that nature, and then give us some input into the process to come up with a plan as to how traffic will flow in and out of that circle. I know this is something that has been discussed for many years about what is the best way to do that. I know we have some ideas that we will share with the county once they provide some direction from the traffic study, but yes, that is underway.
And is there any time on that?
Ed, I don't think we have a timeline. They just finished the paving up to it, so.
That is correct. So the discussions we've had with the county engineer and the department head is we both agree that we need a traffic engineer to do the study, to come up with, you know, the level of service of that circle and ways to improve it. That's what we're asking the county to fund, and we also ask the county to fund the improvements that come as a result of that study.
And then within that too, we also, there are some parameters we want them to consider. You know, one is that we, with the lighthouse located in the center of the circle, that aesthetics are important to us as well. And you could come up with a plan that might have, 6-foot flashing arrows and things like that that could obscure the view. You know, all of that has to be part of the plan. It's not as simple as it seems.
Does the city and the police department have a record of the accidents down there
Yes,
in detail?
I'm sure they have it in detail.
Because,
Surprisingly, Jim?
Very few, actually.
Yes.
really?
Yes.
There are so many near misses, though.
Somehow, Mrs. Phillips, it works. We're not sure.
Yeah, it works, but where you have to be really careful.
Yes. And there are some unique things about Brigantine Circle that perhaps don't exist in other areas, and that is who enters and has the right of way, because it seems to be different here than in other communities. But all of that will be addressed in this study, and if we're going to have a true circle, then we're probably going to have to look at how that's going to function going forward.
And how do we determine in Brigantine the right of way?
I think it's whoever gets there first.
Because it's a big truck rules.
It's a controlled and uncontrolled intersection. It leaves a lot of room for,
Yeah.
yeah.
Difference of opinion, yes, well, just,
True traffic circle, obviously, you'll the people who are on the circles. But we don't have a true traffic circle here, it's a disaster.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Okay, any other public comments? You see none, I'm going to end the public portion. Are there any further council comments?
I have a couple. Saturday morning at 10 a.m., I believe weather permitting, is a beach plum planting down at Bay Court, but weather isn't looking too promising. We'll have to drive by and see if they're there. Also, speaking of veterans, the Elks are hosting the veterans from the Vineland Veteran Home on Saturday for their annual Army-Navy gathering. It's always such a moving experience to see all the pomp and circumstance with the bagpipers there and the firemen, the fire department and police department wheeling all the veterans in their wheelchairs. It's just always such a moving experience. Great to come out and watch it all. Also, Sunday is the holiday art walk at the Cove at 2 o'clock. And I believe Elephants for Autism hockey camp is Sunday, December 17th at noon, I believe. Noon? At noon? Okay, noon to 3. Another amazing event that this island hosts for children with autism, give them experiences with hockey. Always a great event. That's it.
I got something.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, you know, we're only 3 weeks away from the Polar Bear Plunge on January 1st at noon. And this Saturday in Andres, we're going to have a lunch with the Polar Bear for the children. There'll be some giveaways for the kids and also some door prizes. And also that's from 11 to 1 on Saturday. So if you're now out planting plum trees, beach plums, then you can come on over to Andres for, lunch with the Polar Bear.
We're greeting the veterans.
Yes, or greeting veterans. And also, there's, brought to my attention from the Brigantine Beach Cultural Arts Commission that there's an opening on the commission, and they asked me to see if we could allow Kathy Skimmons, who's currently on the Garden Club, to fill that opening on the Brigantine Beach Cultural Arts Commission. So I passed the letter out before, and if there's no objections, then I guess that'll be okay.
You put her name in nomination. Do we have a second?
Second.
Go ahead.
Second.
A second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Very good.
That's it.
Thank you, Mike.
I've, just one question as a follow-up to Mike made me think of something. Could we get an update on the commitment of Phil and the chiefs to actually going in the water at the Polar Bear plant?
Yes.
And Chief Bennett has indicated he's in. Phil, I know you're in, right?
I've been there the last, how many years has it been, Andy?
Since you opened your mouth,
So, yeah, at least 3 years.
$6,000.
I spent many years trying to stay out of cold water, but I'm going in now.
I didn't hear anything from Chief Platt.
Chief Platt?
Are you going?
They
You
said
didn't
it'll be
answer.
in a wetsuit.
Pulled my dry suit out of the dive.
That doesn't work. I test before I write the check.
There's a hair test.
So I'm disqualified.
Okay, seeing no other business before council, need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Once again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in or coming to the meeting this evening. Thank you for your participation, and have a good night.
Oh, yeah, what dollar amount?